I'm here at St. Mary's Cemetery, Ridgeley Township in Dodge County, Nebraska. Ridgeley was settled in 1869. At first, few Catholics were in the area, but those who were had to travel 15 to 20 miles for Mass. Their options were either St. Patrick's in Fremont or St. Charles in Cumming County, where St. Anthony's Church was located. Only on occasion were people able to arrange a priest to come here and visit, celebrate Mass either in the schoolhouse or in a home. Thus, for them, it was an all-day affair to attend Mass. Usually oxen were driven, since few of them could afford horses. Others would even walk to church. Jacob Reese, son of Nicholas Reese, recounted the Sunday outing as follows. In 1869, my father would rise at the break of day, feed his team, make a bed of hay in the wagon box, toss in some extra quilts, pack his wife and children in the wagon, and start the slow trip to St. Charles for Mass. Remember, to receive communion, one had to fast after midnight. When the Mass was over, it was noon. Church members would eat the lunches they had brought along, feed the team, and then Vespers would begin. When Vespers concluded, the journey home started, and it would be night before they reached home. Another story recalled was that of John Emanuel and Louis Eckroat, who would begin their trip to St. Charles at 3 a.m. Before leaving, they took their wagons and loaded straw and brush from the Maple Creek, along with long poles. When they reached a creek, they laid the poles across, covered them with brush and hay securely enough to drive on. Once across, they would gather it again and make the next temporary bridge on their journey. In the late 1870s, a small church was built near the Glencoe Post Office, southwest of Snyder and about 8 miles northwest of Ridgeley. I am at the Glencoe Historical Marker at the Glencoe Congregational Church that was built in 1887, and the cemetery, which was established in 1871. The post office was actually originally a quarter of a mile west of here, and I don't know precisely where the location that the Catholic Church was. The Glencoe Church was attached to St. Charles as a mission, and later to West Point with Father Nicholas Horn as their pastor. In the fall of 1880, Father Horn decided that the church was too far west, as there were no churches yet in Hooper, Scribner, Snyder, or North Bend. Despite opposition from parishioners, Father Horn succeeded in convincing them to move the church to a hill 9 miles west of Hooper, the Ridgeley site, making it more central within the county. The Glencoe Church was moved and remodeled for a parsonage, while a new church was built. In 1881, Bishop O'Connor assigned St. Mary's at Ridgeley a resident pastor, a young German priest just ordained, Father John Mueller. The parish reached its high point 10 years later in 1891 as Father Albert Hork became pastor, serving also the missions of St. Rose in Hooper and St. Patrick at Clyde. Tragically, the very next year, on February 13, 1892, a raging fire destroyed both the church and rectory. The resilient parishioners, though, had it rebuilt within the year. In 1903, St. Mary's began to be served from St. Charles Borromeo in North Bend. During this time, several storms buffeted their new church. first being damaged by lightning and then shoved off its foundation by some of the tornado-like winds so often crossing the Nebraska prairie. Unfortunately, March 22, 1927, the church and rectory were again destroyed by fire, and this time it was not rebuilt. The parish families were adopted by the then new St. Lawrence Parish in Scribner. The former parishioners at St. Mary's played a key role in the continuation of the Scribner Parish. Just prior to 1927, there were only 3 men at St. Lawrence Parish in Scribner. With the addition of the former St. Mary's members, this congregation grew and thrived. Today, this cemetery is all that remains of the site of St. Mary's Church at Ridgeley. It's cared for now by St. Lawrence Church, where Mass continues to be celebrated today, about 6 miles away. During the existence of St. Mary's Parish, 11 ladies entered religious life, and 1 young man, Father Jovenal Emmanuel, was ordained a priest. Despite the briefness of its moment in history, St. Mary's at Ridgeley remains a symbol of the patient, steadfast faith and sacrifice of its members, and of course, of their religious devotion as well.